So I'm Roy Johnson, and I'm here at the ADRBC Symposium for 2019 with one of the roles who's made it all happen, Elton Simões, President of ADRBC. Elton, it's good to see you.
Oh, thank you, Roy. It's a great opportunity to talk to you, and always a pleasure.
Thank you for spending a few minutes with me. So, curious to hear a little bit in your role. I mean, it's rumored that you just simply never sleep, Elton. That you are constantly on supporting volunteers in the organization and making stuff like this happen. Tell me a little bit about sort of the governance role in alternative dispute resolution. You sit at the national table. You head up the provincial organization. What are your observations about governance in alternative dispute resolution when you're working with folks who have these skills? What are your observations navigating different points of view, and what's that like?
Well, first, governance has always been my interest because I come from the corporate world and I sat in many boards. Then I am a bit of an obsessed person in how things are done, and it's not, I think that corporations and organizations should focus not on what they do, but how they do is a very important piece of it. My background is also about multilateral negotiations. Then you sum that up, most of my work is to sort out different opinions in a multilateral negotiation within a board context. Having said that, as you said, we are a volunteer organization that's pretty much a membership organization. Then the accountability piece is important. And when you chair a board, the important is you need to figure out who you owe duty to, right? The way I see my function is I owe duty to the membership in the first place. I owe duty to my board colleagues in the second place, right? And what drives us is the notion of a membership democracy. In simple terms, membership democracy is people can, on a meritocratic basis, participate in the opportunities that present themselves, and they have the opportunity also to contribute to the way the organization is governed. And that's only done, the only tool that you have available to it is transparency, right? Transparency meaning the members need to be able to hold the board and myself accountable as people who defend their interests.
And that's really tricky, right? Because the entire membership, we're practitioners. I'm a practitioner out there. We all have our own practices. And that must be a bit of a juggling act about trying to remain neutral and fair and transparent when we're all here with our own personal interests, our own motivations. You're always squeaky clean in how you make sure everything's nice and clear and even and fair, but there's got to be some challenges in there.
Yeah, the challenge is, in any group that makes any collective decision, there will be conflicts of interest. And again, we are humans. It's absolutely impossible to eliminate conflict of interest, but it's possible to manage and mitigate the effects of conflict of interest, right? And that's what a board should do, right? Then we, in our board, we have in-camera sessions when there are conflict of interest. There are conflict of interest declarations. There is a direct reporting line that doesn't allow the board to interfere in the operations. All the appointments are done separately from the board who is there to do policy. Then with all those measures, also as you witnessed today, we are financially accountable. Therefore, there are financial controls. We have to approve our financials to the membership. Contrary to many organizations, we disclose to our members all the details of the financial statements. We go through the trouble of explaining the connection between the results that we're getting and what we're doing, and making it and try to make sense between the financial statements and the strategy that we're adopting, and try to explain why we believe that is important to the members, to the benefit of the profession, to advocacy. But most and foremost, what I think we need to understand are two things. The first one is that if the pie grows, it benefits everyone. And the second one is we need to incentivize generosity in the sense that the more practitioners we have, the more the industry will grow. Then supporting new practitioners, supporting young people, advocating for diversity, recruiting them to the governance bodies, they all increase the business we are. then, and that's a philosophy and a different way of seeing it, but that's the way I see it.
Thank you all. Yeah, and having the privilege of working with you in my volunteer capacity too, I've really appreciated your stewardship and your clarity in that. In closing, what would you advise younger practitioners coming in? What are the advantages of them getting more involved in the governance side of ADR? What would you suggest is something that would be attractive to them?
Yeah, I am a believer in making things happen. Then if you are an ADR practitioner, and if you want to be in that profession, get involved, be in the governance, be part of the decision-making process. The organization we set up gives people that opportunity, gives young people, experienced people, people from different ethnicities. And in my case, I am Brazilian born, my case is an example of it. And get involved. Don't wait until the decisions are made on your behalf. Exercise your rights. Go to the AGM. That's my advice.
Thank you, Elton. It's good to spend some time with you, and thank you again for your even and fair stewardship. We're at the ADRBC 2019 Symposium, and look forward to talking with you more.
You're very welcome. Thank you.